India is a vibrant and diverse land where millions of people live in both poverty and wealth. And what was once a purely agricultural society has become a major industrial power. Here, hard manual labor has always been the norm, but the labor backbone of many Indian industries is still working children. Internationally, child labor is defined as any worker aged under 15 years who lacks access to education or is involved in hazardous or heavy work. Globally, there are over 250 million child laborers. 100 million of these children go without schooling. In India, for employers, children are a source of cheap labor. For many poor families, it is the only way to survive. They have little choice, and their children become economic units. Over the years, the Indian government has regulated against industry using children under 14 for factory labor. Factory owners and middlemen are under increasing pressure to cease using children, but the tragedy of the child labor still continues. For the children, it means illiteracy tied to a life of tedious and hazardous work. Respiratory ailments and other health problems contracted at work are not at all dealt with. Some factories offer incentives to ensure a permanent workforce, food and shelter to street kids in exchange for work. Even though these factories operate illegally, a community that is dependent on this work for survival is in no position to challenge the way things are. There are no alternatives. By turning a blind eye, families have a chance to make a living. But it means their children are forced to live without rights in a world where dishonesty is considered acceptable. So, to give a more detailed insight on this issue, I would like to share with you guys the story of this 12-year-old boy named Ahmed. India produces the staggering amount of 500 billion bidi cigarettes every year. That means on average over 500 are smoked by every man, woman and child on the subcontinent. 12-year-old boy Ahmed will be responsible for making around half a million bidis this year. This is not something he does for fun. His parents borrowed 3000 rupees so they could feed the family. In return, Ahmed was bonded to a labor broker who arranged work for him in the bidi business. He will work until the loan and all the interest is repaid. Despite the government ban on child labor, Ahmed is just one of the countless thousands of children who work as bonded laborers in the bidi making industry. Ahmed says, "I am expected to close 2000 bidis a day. If I do not do that, my employer will beat me. I have been beaten up many times on my back. That's why I am scared." Ahmed is surrounded by bidi workers. This job is all he knows. He has no concept of other ways to earn a living. His young nephew, Mila, is growing up with the same understanding. Bidi rolling is what you do to earn your way.